A bold claim for you to assume that I am anything like Valentino. But I will admit that there are some distinct similarities, I will admit. Let me elaborate for you. Before we can get into that, let's address the elephant in the room, our similarity. We both offer the desperate and the weak hearth and home, fame and fortune, or just reprieve from their suffering, a way out from their pains. We use such suave, sexy, sweet words to lure them in, make them comfortable, make them subservient, make them swoon in love for us, only to ensnare them later. Val, of course, offers you fame and fortune. He will make you his favorite little pet, at least for a while. You maintain his favor, and he will look down upon you with his eyes of love, as twisted as it may be. He will offer you everything you've ever wanted: money, possession, sometimes even power. And all you have to do is make him money. As long as he's making money, as long as he finds you attractive and interesting, he will continue to look upon you with favor. Though Valentino is a fickle little bitch, his favor for you will eventually wane. He will eventually find another toy to play with. Even Angel, his most prized prostitute, is expendable to him. And that's when the abuse comes in. That's when he sees you as expendable, steps all over you, and not in the fun kind of way. Oh no. The beatings, the pain, the abuse, the torment he will put you through. Especially when he no longer finds any favor in you at all. But he won't let you go, oh no. He will instead put you on a death march. He will have you work to absolute death, quite literally, until you are gone. He will use you up, every last inch of you, until there is nothing left. Everyone to him is expendable. I, on the other hand, am a different story. Sure, I lure them in with promises of comfort and having their wet little dreams come true. But, however, unless they spark my ire, regardless if they have my favor or my attention or not, when someone willingly submits to me, I pamper and take care of them all the time. I tend and take care of them as if they were my own children. And you'd probably ask as to why. Why should I care about the countless drones that follow me? The endless hordes of those who gave me their soul willingly and or unwillingly even. Why should I look upon all of them with favor? Why pamper them? What's in it for me, By all rights, I already own all of my subjects' souls. Even if they resisted me, there's nothing they could do about it. I could abuse the absolute hell out of them in the same way as Val does, treat them as expendable. And yet, I still tend to them. I still act as if I'm the servant to them even. You're probably thinking that deep down I'm some kind of benevolent creature. Maybe, just maybe. But oh no. There is another reason as to why I do all of this. A little something, a little fact that even Valentino will never see or admit. Let's just say, for example, there was a cataclysmic event where both I and Valentino, all of our servants, bound to us by their souls, were free, just like that, out of nowhere. And now they can all do whatever they want. They can do anything to us that they want, and there's nothing we can do to stop them. What do you think is going to happen? Valentino's subjects would no doubt pounce all over him like a vicious wild mob. It would be as if you had a caged, overly abused animal that's been whipped one too many times and finally broke out to finally feast upon the flesh of their abusive master, found without their lash and whip. My servants, however, I know for a fact they will take pause and they will wonder, is it worth being free? Is this newfound freedom worth it at all? Is it worth trying to go back into the normal cities of hell, find a job and make a new life for yourself, strive and struggle like we all do on a daily basis? Or would they prefer to be complacent, come back to me, into my arms, and never have to worry about anything else ever again? All they have to do is serve me, and I give them everything they want, all the time, all their pleasures given to them, willingly and freely. So they would stop, and they would think, and wonder, what is the point of their free will? I can already take a very good educated guess as to what would happen if my followers were free. 10% of them would actually try to leave and make a life for themselves. 20% of them would actually ask me if they could stay and live with me even if they didn't serve me anymore. And 70% of them, they would come crawling back and beg and scream to me to come back into my embrace, terrified of the idea of trying to make a life for themselves after living in a life of such comfort. Valentino just wants slaves that if they ever disobey him, he can just beat them and whip them into submission, who have to do what he says or else. I, however, would prefer an army of zealots. I would prefer to have a horde of followers who would gladly and willingly throw themselves into the pyre and into the meat grinder just for my own comfort, and not because I told them to, but because they want to. Val has to command and demand his followers to jump off a cliff. Meanwhile, I can tell them to jump off a cliff, and they would happily do it with a smile. If someone shot either one of us, Val has to grab one of his followers and force them in the way. Meanwhile, mine would willingly and gladly jump in front of the bullet because they cannot stand the idea of me suffering. They would rather take the suffering themselves, willingly. Many of them value my life over their own lives, and they would gladly give me their souls once again if it meant staying in my rapturous embrace. And that is power you cannot buy. That is power that you earn. And that is the difference between the two of us.